Hey guys, double wide 6, and this is the Dodge Ram 1500 rear brake change. So I put on the emergency brake and I put a jack under there and a jack stand right on the axle. At this point, you want to pull the cap off your brake fluid. You'll see there's a little inspection window in here, and if you get your screwdriver in here and pry a little bit, you can back up that brake cylinder. So I don't know how well you can see it, but I've loosened up the cylinder, so now the brake pads will slide out because there's no pressure. But we've got to remove two 10mm bolts first. You'll see these little rubber bushings where these bolts are. There's a 10mm up top, and there's another 10mm down at the bottom, right down in here. So once you get these two bolts out of here, the entire brake assembly should be loose. There we go. And you got to watch because you have a brake line tied to it. Some people wire this right onto the leaf spring, but on this particular truck I can get it up here, just kind of rest it up here, and it should be fine. So here's the old brake pads. Sometimes you got to be a little forceful and just kind of work them out of here. Just like that. And that's it. So here's the old brake pad. You can see how thin it is. The line for wear is even gone. Here's a new one, and we're worn all the way down past that line, so these were overdue for a change. So these brake pads go on the same way they came off. Basically, you want to fit in these little tabs, one on the top and then the tab on the bottom, and then you're going to slide them in, and they're going to go in until they touch the rotor, like the one in the back that I already slipped in there. Some of these manufacturers call for like a brake grease to go on the back of your pad and up by these clips. I particularly don't do it. It's supposed to reduce noise. I've never had a problem with noise, and I don't really want to mix lubricants with my brakes. Usually these pads are a pretty tight fit, but you get them lined up. Just take a hammer and guide them in there. Looks like I'm hitting the clip. There we go. That's it. So the last thing you got to do is back up your brake caliper. I already backed it up pretty good with the screwdriver. I'm just taking an old brake pad and a C-clamp, and what we're going to do is just compress it. It only takes a couple turns, and what happens is your brake pads are actually wider because they're newer, thicker. So you're backing that thing up, and remember, you need the cap off your brake fluid in your engine bay so that that caliper backs up easier. So now we take our brake caliper, slip it over the new pads. Hopefully it's open enough that fit on there nice, and you put in your 10mm bolts. Snug them down. They don't have to be too tight. Here's how you put on a big tire without breaking your back. Take the tire and you put your legs under it. Instead of lifting with your back, you want to try and lift with your legs and your knees. So you get it lined up where you want it, and I'm picking it up with my legs, and I'm just pivoting it. And you want to start with your bottom bolt and get that guy in there snugged up. Don't forget, once you get in the vehicle, you want to start it up and you want to pump your brakes several times, getting that fluid up through to the calipers. Alright guys, got it all done. Took it for a victory drive. Everything seems great. No squeaks, no noises. I'm going to put a link in the bottom of the description of this video where you can get brakes and rotors for your vehicle. It's an easy job. It's pretty much the same on just about every vehicle. So don't be intimidated by it. Get out there. You can do it yourself. Take care. Have a great day.